We're at Santapod's FIA-FIM main event for round 2 of the MSA British Drag Racing Championship, featuring the Pro Mods, with a raft of top European competitors joining the fray and 22 drivers chasing just 16 elimination spots. This is going to be a hard-fought competition. And a first for the series, Hussein Al-Shamari, all the way from Kuwait, driving one of the 2 Dodge Avengers of Norbert Kuno's team. So we have a total of 7 Brits this weekend, as well as teams from Switzerland, Sweden, France, Germany and the Netherlands. Well, hasty repairs were needed after round 1 for Britain's Chris Isaacs.
Yeah, we did one run, ran 693, qualified second. Then on the second run, we normally run a protective gauze across the front of the turbos, and that had started to break up. So we took that out so as not to suck that metal gauze into the turbos, and then on the second burnout the suck from the turbos undid the knots on the straps on the diaper and sucked them into the intake wheels on the turbos and damaged the intake wheels, so hence we've now got new turbos on the car.
So into the first of 4 scheduled qualifying sessions taking place on the Saturday and Sunday here at Santapod. This is a huge event, folks, and it's looking like a dry, warm weekend to come. First up, we have a solo from the newly licensed Pro Mod driver, Mark Hartnell. He's only put in a few runs in the car so far, but if this run is anything to go by, he's going to be someone to look out for. 6.52 straight off the trailer should put him in the field right from the off. Mick Payne with what's now becoming a characteristic screaming burnout with the Camaro alongside Marcus Hilt. Marcus' first run of the season with the Punisher Corvette, getting a bit out of shape, rolls it on through with the 761, 765 for Mick Payne. Chris Isaacs, far side the racetrack, alongside Roland Boletta from Switzerland with the Corvette. Roland with the shoots out early, quite a bit of smoke at the top end there though for Chris Isaacs. Hope all's okay. Kev Slyfield, Jean Delamont. Kev with a new paint job on there, nice pedal job once again. Kev goes 6.67 at 2.23, a 7.22 for Jean. Andy Robinson with a nice strong burnout for the NGK Spark Plugs Camaro, but he's got problems. It's going to be Dave Vegter on a solo run. Nice new sponsorship deal with Playboy Energy Drink and a strong run all the way through to 6.36. Roger Moore, far side the racetrack, actually missed Easter, but that team know what they're doing. They'll be absolutely fine. Alongside Bruno Barder. Now this is Bruno's first run of the season as well for a lot of these competitors. Some have had the chance to get testing in, others not so. On board with Roger Moore. Bruno, arrow straight run, no problem whatsoever, to the top of the pile with a 6.01. He even clicked it early, at only 2.22. Next pair, 2 of the big guys from Sweden. Mickey Gulquist, defending European champ, with the Camaro alongside Roger Johansson with that absolutely beautiful Mustang. Quickest and fastest of the nitrous cars. Great runs for both, absolutely storming all the way down. Mickey a bit out of shape. Oh, Roger massively out of shape. Head on into the wall. Ignore the time. That was Roger going through the finish line in Mickey's lane. A huge accident for Roger Johansson. The track crew doing their thing on the scene. Immediately the car rolls to a stop, literally right at the end of the racetrack. The crew, everybody here at Santapod looking on, looking concerned. You can see it again in replay. They were both dead even down the racetrack, actually with Roger a little bit out front. Mickey's car started bouncing and get out of shape. He lifted, and it's actually a good job he did, because otherwise Roger, I think, might have taken him with him. Good news from the top end though, Roger Johansson is okay. He's got a couple of broken bits, but most importantly, he's around to fight another day. So the last run of this session is the man who finished number 2 in the European Championship last year, Mats Eriksson.
That was a horrible run, and I was surprised when I saw it. I got loose just before that, so I got off the gas pedal and the car slowed down. And right then, Roger came in front of me on the side, and hit the wall. So I had to try to avoid him a bit, so I steered around him, and then after the finish line my chutes were pulled out, and so the car braked pretty hard, and then I was just hoping that Roger had stopped, but I found out 1 second later that he hadn't. So he came in front of me again one more time and almost hit me. So I was lucky twice today in that run.
On to Q2 and the first outing of the weekend for the old 51, the beautiful 51 Chevy Coupe driven by Johan Lindberg. He's first out, facing Michel Turenne in the Pro Dutch Racing Barracuda. Michael took over driving duties at the end of last season after the sad death of Robert Houston, and has only just completed his licensing passes. And what a run that was. 6:38. That boy is a natural. Problems though for Johan Lindberg. He's not qualified yet. So next pair, Dave Venter alongside Kev Slyfield. Oh, Kev all over the place, up on 2, maybe even 3 wheels. The Dutchman, 6:19, 2:34, going in the right direction. Bruno comes up to the start line against Mats Eriksson. Bit of a wiggle for Mats. Bruno, no mistake whatsoever, and consolidates his number 1 spot with a terrific 5.94. That is a new personal best. So, end of day 1's qualifying, and Michel Turenne is in at number 6 with an impressive 6:38.
Beautiful day. Yeah, it's still unbelievable, the power and how fast it goes. But the starts are getting used to now. Our goal was to license and then to learn the car, and we are still a lot to learn in the tuning. Now still Robert passed away, and then we do it all by ourselves. And yeah, we learn every run we make. That's the main thing.
It's going really well. We've been running it now for 2 runs only with a new engine and a new blower combination. Adam is tuning us, and we're going to see more this weekend. We're going to do the full tour, FIA. Unfortunately, Malta is gone, but we're going to do all the races, maybe some more.
On to day 2 of qualifying here at the FIA FIM main event. Cooler conditions, but a very quick track here at Santopod means everyone's full of expectation. Drivers getting into their safety gear, getting into the zone, and we're ready to hit the track. So back on with qualifying, and it is Jean Delemont. Far side the racetrack, Norbert Kuno, his first run of the weekend. He's not yet qualified. Jean out of shape, nearly over the centre line. A big smoke at the top end for the Frenchman. That looks terminal, especially for a nitrous car. Roger Moore, Thomas Stiefel. Thomas is not qualified at the moment. I think he will be now. 6.29 moves him up 10 places from 17 to 7. 6.57 though. Nice run for Roger. Wayne Nicholson, Chris Isaacs. Chris with problems off the start line, pedals it though. So does Wayne. Wayne makes a big move for the centre line at half track. Chris goes through with a 7.13 to 18. Marcus Hill is not qualified with the Punisher Corvette, and he's still not there at all. Kev Slyfield though with a big pedal goes 6.46, 2.23 and ends up in the field. Johan Lindberg with the old 51 again, still not in the show. Gets out of shape and pulls the chutes to keep it straight. Michel Turenne though with a massive PB, 6.19. Great side-by-side pair for these two. Mickey Gallquist 5.97 stays at number 2. Andy Robinson 6.09. Fast and Furious Pro Mod qualifying. As always, Bruno gets out of shape. Mats keeps his foot in it though. Goes 6.07, 2.33. He's not in the 5s yet though this weekend. Big surprise for Mats. On to Q4, our final qualifying session. Quickest runs of the weekend for both these cars. Thomas Stiefel with a 6.16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16. 16 Bert Englefield, Dave Venter. Bert with a little bit of out of shape before 60, pulls it back in expertly though, goes 6:31. That's his new personal best. Dave doesn't improve with a 6:29. So Andy Robinson, Mickey Gallquist trying to move up from where they were. Mickey won't be number one qualifier. Andy Robinson though with another nice consistent 6:11. So your last pair, and absolutely the standout so far this weekend. Both very consistent indeed, but it is Bruno Barda with the Gotham City Corvette. Nails it all the way through once again. Goes 6:03, 6:24 for Matt. Bruno will be number one qualifier. So that's it for our look at qualifying. Some big improvements for many teams, including the B&A Racing Hot Rod.
Basically it's the same. Last year it ran the 634. It's got a different camshaft in it, and that's more or less about the same really. So that's picked it up a little bit.
I know you're still working on a second car, but there's a lot more life in this by the looks of it.
Yeah, we're no rush for the new car. This is still good fun, this one.
Yeah, we're starting to creep back up on it. A couple of years ago we ran that 596 and we've struggled to repeat and get back to our old form. We've kind of gone a different direction. It's just taken a bit of time to creep up on it, and now we're starting to see the results.
I know we've heard that the track has been ground a couple of months back. Has that made a difference? Do you feel a difference?
Yeah, it's made a huge difference actually. It's not just the smoothness of the track, but it's actually the way it retains the rubber on the surface, because before you used to get a lot of build up of rubber and then it was almost too much and it would get too soft, whereas now it's retaining the rubber in a much more uniform fashion, so it's really helped us out a lot.
So Bruno ended up qualifying as he started it, in the number one spot. And at the other end of this, we have 4 cars not making the cut, but with Jean Delemont broken, I think Marcus Hilt will be in as an alternate.
You tell me the car's old, but it just keeps going faster and faster.
Yes, we always make some little pieces that we can go a little bit faster, and it works well this weekend. And I think it's the first time that we are number one qualifier in 12 years Pro Modified. Yes, we hope so. We can make some rounds and take the points for the championship. We want to run the whole championship this season, and then it's important that in the first race you get some points.
So in its 50th anniversary year, it's race day here at the FIA FIM main event at Santapod. But before we start, it's time to pay our respects for our missing friend, Robert Houston. Well, it's finally time to get to the racing. Round 1 of Pro Mod on the Monday morning, early Monday morning at the main event, is always a bit of a nervous affair. Conditions that the teams haven't seen all weekend, and they've got a race in them, which makes it all the more fun. David Venter from the Netherlands, Bert Englefield from the UK with the hot rod. And it looks like Bert's actually out in front. Indeed he is. He's got a car length on David Venter, and he takes the win with a terrific 6:29. That's another personal best for Bert. Andy and the team, you can see him jumping for joy on the start line. I think something was definitely off though with David's car on that run. Not performing up to its normal high standards. So, next pair, Thomas Stiefel with the immaculate 57 Chevy built by Andy Robinson. Is every car that Andy builds orange? Probably not actually, because Dave's is black. Anyway, Norbert Kuno. 2 cars here this weekend. This is his own personal one. Goes up in smoke off the start line, spins the tyres. Thomas with an easy win, but looks like gearbox problems towards the top end. Kev Slyfield going to be taking on Michel Turenne. Michel in his first ever race in Pro Modified, and he gets the defending MSA British champion to boot. Well, great lead for both of them. Michel actually gets out on Kev a little bit, but has to back off towards the top end. Kev Slyfield with a brilliant pedal job as well. 6:34, 2:23, and the chutes come out, most importantly. Great effort for Michel in his first weekend, and the whole Pro Dutch team as well. So, we've had 3 UK versus the Netherlands matchups. We've got another one here. So far, it's 2-0 to England. Let's see what Andy Robinson can do. Oh no, unfortunately, problems off the start line. Mark Hartveld all over the place. He was there for the taking. Pedals it through to a 6.97.203 and his first ever win in FIA Pro Mod. Well done to him as well. Okay, Hussein Al-Shamari in the other Lucas Oil Avenger. Hussein all the way here from Kuwait. He's been here nearly a week and he gets a round one date with the defending European champion for his pleasure. Well, Mickey Gallquist, no mistake at all. Absolutely long gone with a 6.02.239 winner. Really good to see Hussein here though from Kuwait. Mats Eriksson, Roger Moore, your next pair. Roger got all the way to the final at the European finals last year. By the looks of this race though, Mats Eriksson's got this one sewn up. Indeed he has. 6.04.235 back on form for the Goblin. Johan Lindberg in the old 51. I still keep going to say Nicholas Anderson, but I'll get there eventually. Against Marcus Hill. Marcus is in as an alternate, but he's going to go no further. Johan was there for the taking as well with only a 6.78. Marcus with a 7.39. So your number one qualifier, Bruno Barda against Chris Isaacs. Chris was actually out on him around about 60 foot, but then had to pedal. Bruno, no mistake at all with a 6.10. Chris Isaacs with a hard try in 6.63. So, after round one of eliminations, the last two Brits standing in the last eight are Bert Englefield and Kev Slyfield, both on top form this weekend.
Yeah, very pleased with that. I'm more than happy with that. It was brilliant.
And the time's going the right way as well.
Yeah, we've been working this weekend. We've done reasonably well this weekend because we started off with Shake at the start line and we're gradually chasing it down the track now. So, yeah, it's coming good.
It's been a tough weekend for us. We've perhaps missing Easter might have been a mistake and some testing time could have been done, but that's done now. We've had some piston issues which we changed and we did the best we could this morning. We ran a reasonable number, but Mats Eriksson was too quick.
Quarterfinals time. And both of these guys have run personal bests this weekend. Bruno down in the 5.9s, Bert Englefield down in the 6.2s for the first time ever. You know they're going to try and step it up again. Well, it's Bruno away first. Bert's keeping pace with him pretty well though. Bruno goes through with a 6.02, but Bert another PB at 6.28. Great race. Mats Eriksson against Mark Hartveld. Mark, first race in Pro Mods. Second off the start line against the Green Goblin though. You can't give that man that much of an advantage. Mats Eriksson with a nice 6.01, his quickest elapsed time of the weekend. And Mark Hartveld with a superb 6.40. Great effort from them this weekend. Mickey Gallquist with a bye. No show for Thomas Stiefel. The car gets a little bit out of shape and he clicks it and rolls on through to take his place in the semis. Johan Lindberg in the old 51 against Kev Slyfield. Johan previous champ, but not in this car. Kev was out on him, but the car gets all over the place. Another 5-second run for Johan Lindberg, 5.99. So just four remain, and very happy to be amongst them is a smiling Johan Lindberg.
Yeah, it's a nice car and a nice new team for me, a new car also. The team has done a very, very good job with this car this weekend. It feels like I've been driving this car for a very long time, but I think I only have done like 10 passes in it so far. So, but it works very good.
Yeah, that is it's more than we expected yesterday. And we're struggling around and had a lot of problems. But with all that last night, I have a fantastic team and so everything is possible.
So, three Swedes and a man from Switzerland set to do battle for a place in the final here at Santa Pod. Model of consistency this weekend, Bruno Barda. That title really belonged to Mats Eriksson, both at the main event and the finals last year. Mats did so well, read away his chances for the championship in the semi-final though then, and he does it again in May. Unbelievable. He backs off it, rolls on through. That's going to be a long journey home to Sweden. Bruno, well, I'm not going to call him lucky because he really knows how to drive. Just manages to drag it back from the centre line and clicks it to a 6.19. So Johan Lindberg and Mickey Gallquist. Actually, it's Johan Lindberg that had lane choice for this round. He went 5.99. Mickey Gallquist clipped it to a 7-second run. Johan Lindberg's got a car length going past the tree, but then hits tyre shake. Mickey G, no mistake when he needs to. 5.99 to 42. So it comes down to our number 1 and 2 qualifiers. Last words of encouragement from crewman Leif Verlander there, and legendary Fuel Funny Car driver as well. And it's time for the final. Well, this is how it's supposed to play out. Your number 1 and 2 qualifiers coming from each side of the ladder to meet in that final round. Performance advantage this weekend, though, unusually, and that's only because he's normally that good, goes to Bruno Barda, but Mickey Gallquist will be right there, you can bet. Bruno gets away from the line by 0.5 of a second, and he's extending that lead through the finish. Couple of car lengths win over Mickey Gallquist with a 5.93. Another personal best for him. Takes out Mickey G's 5.96. So side-by-side fives in the final. It doesn't get much better than that. Huge congratulations to our winner, Bruno Barda. A class act all weekend long.
Yes, it was very well this weekend. We go so fast, 2 new personal best, and then the win. That's great.
Any more you can get from the car?
Oh, we hope so, yes. We take it easy. It's an old car, old engine, like me. But we hope we can go a little bit faster next time.
So 2 rounds into the 6-round championship in MSA Pro Modified, we have Bert Englefield and Andy Wright at B&A Racing topping the table. Our next round is the SPRC Summer Nationals here at Santa Pod at the end of June. We'll see you then.